So do all the hard work. It will definitely pay off in the end. Just keep going. Yeah, but with two very important caveats. So I wanted to touch on this point because there's a guy I really respect a lot who posted about this earlier today, but he's basically made such an important point. It's very motivational for people, for those who are maybe building their business, starting something, an entrepreneur, maybe they're building a startup and they're in those early days. And his message really was, you've got this, stick at it, don't give up. Those 3 a.m. finishes, they're gonna pay off in the end. And my vibe was, yes, but also let's be clear on a couple of things. So these are two really important caveats. The first one is kind of common sense, and you might be thinking, well, duh, but actually it's less subscribed to than you'd realize. It's yes, it will all pay off in the end, that hard work, but only when it's the right hard work. One thing that stands out is sometimes there's this blind focus on a particular path because it's the path that's been taken for a long time. You need to be auditing whether or not the path you're on is actually right, because otherwise all that hard work is going in the wrong direction. In the past, there's been plenty of times where I've pivoted, or because of getting feedback or data or something like that, because actually I was working my face off on something that was getting very little reward, and it was far more important to make a change there. So that's the first caveat. Yes, working hard will really help, but only when you're doing the right thing. If you're doing the right thing, you're really going to benefit from those 3 a.m. finishes and things like that. And here's the other point as well. That comment is so right, but it also potentially misses one of the most important points about building something and about going through pain to get to a destination. It's that if you're saying to yourself, I will push through, I will make it happen, though these late nights, they are going to be worth it because in the end I will get the fruits of my labor. It is, for many, suggesting that the focus is on the destination. And I genuinely feel that's a mistake, because that destination may never actually happen. And you are going to spend relatively an overwhelming amount of time not at that destination, but on the kind of the route, the journey, the path to get to it. So those 3 a.m. finishes and the grinding it out through the night is something, this is the second point, that you have to learn to almost get romantic about and really enjoy. So whatever guise it needs to take, you need to be looking at that hard work and all of that effort and all of those difficult times when you're pushing through as the game and the bit that you really enjoy the most, because that's the part you'll be dwelling in. Because if you spend all your time on that journey, in that hard place with those challenges, you need to spend time doing the thing you enjoy. You need to make that, or at least recondition yourself to think, this is the bit I enjoy. If you're in a sales role, sure, the back of the net feeling is wonderful when you get a deal, but actually it's the work that gets you there. That's the bit you need to really fall in love with. We enjoy the success, but that's only for a moment. It's the rest of that time, that 99% of the time which you're using to build it, that you really need to enjoy. Don't focus on the destination so much that you don't enjoy the journey, because that's actually the bit that really matters. So with those two caveats, it's still a really important point he was making, but I really wanted to state that, make sure it's the right stuff and make sure you enjoy that hard work as well, because that's the bit, that you're going to spend most of your time doing.